I'm ready.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, Sonya Renee with 50s in 3, 2, 1, begin.
2 years ago, in early fall, I was walking in Union Square in San Francisco when I happened past Loris Diner. Unfurled high above its doors as to be uber inviting was a white sign with red letters that proclaimed Loris Diner, breakfast, lunch, dinner, the fabulous 50s. This sign is not the first time I have seen the English language used to proclaim how fucking awesome the 50s were. It's everywhere. I've seen it on almost every news segment on Fox and in most of the dinner party fantasies of Paula Deen. And even my shitty ex-boyfriend who actually wanted a blowjob while I made meatloaf. I simply remain flummoxed by this notion that the 50s is some sort of profoundly awesome yesteryear us ungrateful ass Americans have let carelessly slip past as a result of our ingratitude. And for this reason, I would like to offer for your listening pleasure 5 events that clearly indicate a need to shout loudly, fuck the fucking 50s. Number 5. Polio. So apparently I had a great uncle named Thaddeus, and he was my grandmother's big brother. He lived to be the ripe old age of 5 before dying of, guess what? Polio! In 7th grade, I played the nurse for one Mr. Dr. Jonas Salk in the 1990 production of The Shapers of History. Jonas Salk was the man who discovered the vaccine in 1955, a discovery that would eventually take the world occurrence of polio from 350,000 cases in 1988 to 223 in 2010. That's a lot of fucking polio, dude. And it still took 35 years to really kick polio's ass. And my grandmother never got a big brother. Why? Because the 50s fucking sucked. Number 4. Domestic violence. As a rule of thumb, you should never say, as a damn rule of thumb. Apparently, a king of less than stellar repute, Judge Sir Francis Buller, back in 1786, proposed that it was totally acceptable for a man to beat his wife as long as the stick he used was less than the width of his thumb. Now, after some research, it was found that there was no actual record of the judge issuing any such decree, no matter how mean and nasty many of his rulings were said to be. However, even without any such rule, it was not until the 1970s that law enforcement began any sort of standard prosecution of domestic violence cases. Even today, police and public response to such violence reeks of the rock of victim blaming. Chris Brown and Rihanna, anyone? So imagine the 50s without cable or VH1, when getting pummeled by the literal fist of patriarchy was simply a private home life issue. Have a habit of overcooking the tuna casserole? Totally backhanded with little recourse. Over a damn casserole, people. Wonder why June Cleaver had such a timely dinner regimen prepared every night? Because she was trying not to lose a fucking tooth. That's why. Fuck the 50s. Number 3, J. Edgar Hoover's FBI. Here is where the phenomenal intersection of how oppression exacerbates other oppressions plays out in real life. Poor Hoover, or as Jay-Z might say, Hoovy baby, completely squelched in the expression of his sexual identity, sought by virtue of his own internalized and externalized oppression to oppress all the people he could think of. What might you do if you lived in a repressive era where you were not allowed to openly love who you wanted? What would you do if you were a man not allowed to wear the fly-ass burgundy pumps that make your calves look like heavenly beams of sunlight? What would you do if you were never allowed to be your fullest expression of human? You might, as if you just so happen to be put in charge of the largest policing agency in the planet, obviously struggling with some real internalized shame, throw all of your resources and well-earned paranoia at being damn certain that nobody else got their fullest presentation of humanity either, damn it. Shoot, if I can't proclaim how much I love a nice negligee, nobody can talk about shit. Nothing. COINTELPRO, anyone? Number 2, Jim Crow. Speaking of Dr. King, so there's this one time when people who looked like me, not bald, no, not with really big breasts, yes, people who look like me, as in black people, were not allowed to do a lot of really regular shit, like walk into a restaurant through the front door, or drink from said restaurant. Or drink from said restaurant, or drink from fountains where folks that looked like most of you were totally allowed to drink. And don't ask me how I knew most of you would look like you look. Essentially, there is something nice in the South. White people could have it and black folks couldn't. Nice things like education and schools and books. Nope, no lemonade for black folks by order of the damn law. Yup, we didn't even have civil rights legislation outlawing the remainder of Jim Crow didn't pass until 1964. Yup, we still had to do sit-ins, boycotts, water hoses, and police dogs to get a decent water fountain sip. That is what was going down for the melanated persuasion. Why? Because the fucking 50s blew ass. Number 1, what's the worst thing about the 50s? The absolute creme de la creme of craptasticness that sums up the sheer failure of the 50s to literally make a difference in the lives of humans. Chipotle would not be invented for another 33 years. And for that, the 50s cannot be redeemed.